What's up everybody? Here's why I think this generation Cayman is the best looking out of all of them. Mainly I think there are 5 main reasons why, but let's see if you agree with all of them at the end. I'd like to argue that this is the best looking Porsche to come from them in a long time. I mean, if you look at the previous generations of this Cayman, the narrow front end and the wide back end just made it look a little weird. But, this one kind of looks like a Ferrari 360 in the front, and it makes it look much better with that wider stance. And reason number 1 why I think this is the most beautiful, I think the proportions are just perfect. The distance from the ground to the top of the front and rear fenders to the roof is the perfect, in my opinion, rule of thirds proportioning. And also those 20-inch wheels fill in those nicely proportioned fenders just perfectly, in my opinion. Although they're probably not best for the ride, they do look freaking awesome. Speaking of the fenders, they flow nicely from front to back. The front one being slightly lower and shorter than the rear one, which I think it gives the car a forward motion kind of stance. And here again you can see those large wheels. They do fill in the fenders quite nicely. They do look a little better since this car does have lowering springs, so the effect of the large wheels is even better. And reason number 2, the lights. I honestly think the lights look really good on this car, more so than the previous generation. I love how the rear lights sort of blend into the rear wing, and I also like how the front lights have a little more of a squarish look to them, a little less round compared to the previous generation. And quickly moving along to reason number 3, that exhaust location is just money. I think it's special for 2 reasons. Number 1 is pretty obvious. It gives the rear a symmetrical look. But number 2, a little less obvious. This is one of the few Porsches you can buy with a center mounted exhaust. I mean, the only other cars you can get is a GT3 or a GT3 RS. And reason number 4 are these intakes. Believe it or not, the engine actually has dual intakes, one on each side, whereas the previous generation, of course there were 2 ducts on each side, but only one of them actually fed air to the engine. And finally, reason number 5, that rear wing. It does look amazing on this generation. It's bigger, wider, and the deployment mechanism is just much better to look at compared to the previous generation. This one pops up, it folds, or not folds, it bends, so it angles the wing more aggressively. And there we had it. Those are my top 5 reasons why I think this Cayman is the best looking generation. But what did you guys think? Did you agree with my top 5? Were there any other elements you would say are the most striking of this car? Anyway, thanks for watching. enjoy a few more minutes of some beauty shots I took.